So you will probably gather from this that everything is about allowing. Everything is about you taking control of your life and allowing yourself to live a life of freedom. Allowing yourself to do the things that you wish to do. Allowing yourself to experience all the joys in life. And having dreams and desires of owning the world, almost owning the universe, because you have the ability to connect to it, because you have the ability to feel the vibration, emotion and energy of all that you wish and all that you want to be. But you're bringing that into your present moment, in the realization that it is your present moment that creates your future. Paul told this story the other day about his mother, who was seriously ill over most of the part of her life. She went through a lot of operations and she had a lot of medication that she took. And she was brought up in the Orthodox Church as well as a spiritual church with spiritualism. So she was very much also aware of the non-physical and contacted them and understood the teachings that came from there. But she would often say to Paul, I know life is meant to be a struggle. I know we're meant to struggle. And Paul would always say to her, it isn't. Life is not meant to be a struggle. The struggle comes if you allow yourself to be anchored to those elements that take place within your life, rather than allowing yourself the fullness to experience and look at the joy and the beauty. So if anybody ever says to you, oh, life is meant to be a struggle, life is depressing, life is, so everything in this world at the moment is very negative, don't agree with them. You might want to be polite and say nothing. But we would suggest that you may want to just politely withdraw yourself from their energies and just reaffirm to yourself that actually this is a beautiful world. There's a lot of beautiful things happening. It is about allowing yourself to see them, allowing those beautiful aspects of this world to actually manifest themselves into your life because of the way that you are, the way that you think, the energies that you have, and how you take things forward in life. But always from this present moment, or the next moment, or the next. And remembering that that journey that you're on, your own individual journey, is all you're responsible for. Yes, there's times if you're bringing up children that you'll be responsible for them, but teaching them that as they get older and older and older and older, that they actually start taking responsibility for themselves and their own decisions. And then letting them go through, letting them go free to do what they so desire, even if that doesn't quite accord to your own thoughts and wishes. But that's part of the human self. But as we say, allow yourself to live a life of freedom. But that also means you need to allow others the same to do so too. And as you step along your pathway, with each step forward, find that balance in that moment. Enjoy the beauty that surrounds you before you take the next step forward, and do the same there. And if you take your life and your journey and your progression and your expansion with just small steps, continually moving forward, all of a sudden you realize how far along your pathway that you are. And it might be that you had an end goal, and then you get so far along that pathway, and then you have another goal. And in those moments, allow yourself to follow what it is that resonates most strongly with you. Don't feel that, well, that was my goal, so I must stay there. Because all you're doing is creating a conflict within yourself. And that conflict creates an energy that actually becomes very disturbing within your life. And whilst you may continue on to that goal and things may be good, just think if you had have listened to that little inner guidance, that little voice that said, that little spark that came up, that said, at this moment in time, this is where you need to go. This is what you want to do. This is what I want to do. Allow yourself to explore there. And if that takes you to a completely different place, the original goal, then so be it. Life is about the experience. It's about feeling that joy within all of life. And if something no longer resonates with you, something no longer fits with you, then allow it to let it go. Allow it to no longer be a part of you that fully manifests itself within all that you do. We often say that in this moment in time, as the sizes that you are, if someone gave you the clothes you wore as a 5-year-old, you just look at that and say, do you know what, that wouldn't fit me. So you just put it to one side without a thought, without anything, without holding on to it to say, no, this is who I am, this is what I need at this time. Those clothes were suitable for you as a 5-year-old, but not where you are now. So always be appropriate to where you are in this moment. And again, we've said that it's letting go of any anchors that keep you tied to the past, and allowing that liberation to be in everything that you do. For you will find that with that freedom, with that liberation, becomes this energy of wonderment, this energy of real sudden impulses to do things that will guide you forward. And that guidance is always there because it is a natural part of you. It is your true nature. It is your true state of existence. All you're doing is bringing it into this physical world. So allow yourselves to be who you are and who you want to be. Visualize it, feel it, and then allow your inner voice to guide you towards that. And if in doing things with joy, in finding the joys in your life, in finding the joys in even the everyday mundane things that you do, creates such a different energy. If you say you're in a relationship and normally one person will cook the dinner and the other person will clear up, if you find yourself cooking the dinner and then also clearing up, rather than thinking angst about it, well, why aren't they doing this? Because all that's doing is just creating an unuseful energy within yourself. You might initially have that thought that says to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to enjoy clearing up as well. And take that same attitude into everything that you do, into every experience. Find the joy in it. The everyday things. Because if you can do that, it becomes habit forming. And the more habit forming it comes, you then naturally go into that state of thinking of existing, of being. And then your vibrations will become of such a level that when you have your little wobble and you dip into that more denser, more baser, more negative energies of thought or experience, you won't want to stay there quite so long, because of where you generally are on that higher vibration, on that higher understanding, on that greater connection to your loving self, that expansive self, that self that is filled with joy. So everything is about allowing, about being, about you as an individual. And as we say, a most beautiful and unique and worthy individual, worthy of all the best in life. Believe it. Feel that resonating within yourself. And those energies will create a life that you find just full of great wonder.